before I start, I just want to let everybody in our team to introduce myself. So my name is Nan.
My name is Troy.
My name is Julian.
Alan.
Harley.
My name is Angelina.
Okay, so today our topic is going to be how technology and social media has shaped our life quality. So before I start, let me ask a quick question. Scale from 1 to 5, how important do you think to live a high quality of life means to you? Just show me your fingers. Show me your fingers. Okay, 5. I didn't see something lower than that. That's pretty good. So it is true, we only live once. One of the very most important common goals that everybody shares is to live healthier, happier, and meaningful life. However, with the fast development of technology nowadays, people start to ask the questions, how this technology and social media has shaped our life quality. For example, almost 69% of US adults have asked states that technology has some degrees of impact to their life, sometimes uplifting, sometimes challenging. So for this reason, in our very next part, we will closely discuss some concerns that arise from people by using technology. First concerns, digital overuse and mental health. So some people nowadays state that technology are getting harder and harder to control. That's because of all these apps are designed through algorithms, and these algorithms will keep sending you notification based on your own references, and which directly increase your scrolling time. So adults nowadays spend around 4 to 5 hours per day on their smartphones, and about 1/3 of users report feeling stressful or even worsen after passive scrolling. Second, concern about connection and social isolations. So nowadays, some group of people believe that technology has reduced face-to-face interaction, which means that in-person socialization among young adults, same age like us, has dropped 20 to 30%. At the same time, from a survey conducted by a group of heavy social media users, they state that even though they feel connected, but they still feel lonely after spending a lot of time on social media. Now I'm going to pass to my teammate Troy to talk about more concerns.
Thank you for my colleagues sharing, and now I'm going to talk more about this. Sir, technology influences work-life balance and stress level. As we know that technology increases the connections between professional and personal lives, it no doubt influences the work-life boundaries. People say that the constant connectivity through work to smartphone apps make them hard to unplug themselves from work to leisure. And this inability to disconnect puts stress into personal lives, diminishing opportunities for leisure and recovery. People said we can find in the Stress in America report written by American Psychological Association that continuous digital connectivity is significantly related to work-related stress, and it negatively impacts people's mental health. Fourth, technological development affects people's attention span and the ability for deep thinking. People said that the notifications and short-form contents, such as TikTok and Instagram Reels, often created fragmented attention. And this kind of fragmented attention makes people increasingly struggling with deep thinking and sustained focus. For example, we can see from this bar chart, which shows the action span and the average screen time in 2000 and 2023. We can see that the average screen time was approximately 2.5 hours in 2000 to more than 7 hours in 2023. Meanwhile, the average attention span dropped from 12 seconds to only 7 seconds. Fourth, technology plays a critical role in the spread of information, and it determines whether there would be social polarizations. People say that the algorithms on social media often reinforce what people tend to believe, and it creates echo chambers. And this kind of misinformation undermines public trust and impacts people's decision making. They also said that this leads to increased social division and confusion, especially on critical topics such as health, politics, and climate change. For example, we can see from this tree diagram, which shows the pathway from algorithms to misinformation and social polarizations, which starts from algorithms optimizing process to bias and misinformation, which ultimately leads to public confusion and social polarization. the short summary, despite the positive and negative thoughts about whether technology development increased people's quality life or not, the sheer goal of us is to determine how technology innovations such as smartphones and social media impacts people's lives. And we need to make use of the benefits, in the meantime get rid of the negative aspects. Now please let my group members to introduce more about the chip group.
Thank you so much. Next I'd like to look again at the idea that technology is addictive and harms for mental health. This is a real worry for many people. I will show that the story is more balanced. First, the addiction is not inherent to technology. The overuse often stems from the behavior pattern, not the technology itself. The research also shows the link between the heavy screen use and the low well-being. In a study of 40,000 young heavy screen users were 2.4 times more likely to show the depression symptoms than the 1 hour user. So the fear is understandable. But it's also true that the addiction is not built into the technology itself. Many digital tools like map, calendar, email we use every day without making people addicted. So the core problem is less the technology is evil, and more how we use it. So the second, the impact depends on how we use the technology. Passive and unintentional use shows stronger link to anxiety and negative mood. But for the purposeful use can be very different. Like talking with friends and working on a group project make people feel more connected. A 2025 perspective study of 12,000 participants find that increase in social media use practice higher depressive symptoms over time. But the effects are quite small. This suggests that the constant and behavior matter more than the number of hours. Third, many tools will help us use the technology in a healthy way. Many platforms now include screen limit, app timers, focus mode, and do not disturb to reduce unintentional use. WHO notes the growing shift towards digital well-being design, especially for young mental health protection. So the design is moving slowly from keep people online as long as possible to the help people to use technology in health way. So instead of saying the technology is addictive and harmful for our mental health, I just put it in this way. It's the way we use the technology can hurt our mental health, but the technology itself isn't automatically addictive. Let's welcome Alan to introduce the next part of Superway.
Thanks, Ian. So building on what we have discussed so far, I will actually focus on whether technology will actually weaken our real-world relationship and contribute to the isolations. So the key point here is whether technology is actually harmful or not. Technology itself inherently isolating, but it's the overuse, especially passive and excessive overuse of which actually create problems. And a 2021 study found that individuals who spend more than 3 hours per day on social media will report it on the highest loneliness, but only when they use on replacement on offline interactions. So the issue is not about the tool, it's how you use it. The second one is how, and for people actually with mentalness on digital communications can actually strengthen their emotional closeness. There's a research show for the mixed distance relationship couple show that video calls and messaging can actually enhance and even sometimes can enhance the emotional closeness. By doing so, we can know like technology it's not only like a replacement, but also it's actually to be a supplement. And third, for online communications, for most of us, there's no strong offline network. So online communities can be an essential source of belongings. And there's a limited network we can actually find. For individuals who are geographically isolated or mentalist, online communities could be a few places they can find for themselves to feel fully understood. And now, within all these benefits, moderation still matters. So technology could not only be a replacement of like offline life, rather than supplements. So in that case, we'll move on to the next part. We're actually talking about the topic of technology really reduce our attention span.
Thank you, Adam. So many people feel that technology reduces our attention span, and many others feel they have a good scientific ground. What I find are two studies that showed that multitask does not always reduce attention span. The first study, done by Wonsberry and Newtonstein, showed test 250 participants and finds that there's no significant link between technology use and memory performance and work performance. The second study, done by Shuai Shi, did a detailed dietary method that finds no link between how people memory and how they perform on daily basis. And so in that conclusion, it will be much more easier to say that how we use technology will be harmful or it will be helpful, instead of saying how technology automatically damage our thinking. Now I'll pass to Angelina for conclusion.
Thank you, Harley. Before moving to our conclusion, I would like to briefly summarize the 5 concerns we have mentioned at the beginning. Many people worry that technology would lower our quality of life because they weaken our attention and they make us more likely to develop addictive habits and make more distant relationships and increase higher stress and anxiety, reduce real-life interaction. These concerns are all real. They reflect the real experiences that many people have had in their life. And these viewpoints are not wrong, and they need to be taken seriously. But maybe we can view the impact of technology from another angle. Whether someone supports technology or criticize it, we actually share the same goal. We all want better mental and physical health. We all want to live a better quality of life. We all want technology to support us instead of hold us back. And when we use the common goal to re-examine the concerns, we can see clearly that the problem is not technology itself. The problem is how we use the technology. If we use it in a passive and unconscious way, it can be really stressful and distracting, even create distance between long-term relationships. If we use it in a proactively and intentionally, it can bring connection more closer together and make information more transparent and allow us to be seen, heard, and understood more quickly when we need support. So instead of asking, is technology destroying our quality of life? We should be asking, are we using technology in a healthy and balanced and truly supportive way? Today, I want to leave you with one most important takeaway. Technology does not determine our quality of life. What determines our quality of life is our choices, is the choices we make when we use technology. As long as we stay active, we stay aware, we stay human, technology can be a connection instead of a distance. Technology can be a support instead of stress. Technology can be a force that makes life better instead of a reason that makes life worse. This is more mature and balanced and constructive understanding of technology and quality of life. So that's all of our presentation for today. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. And finally is our references. Thank you so much.